Hi, this is Bob Gersh with East Coast Capital, and today I'd like to speak for a few minutes about identification, both to the realtors in the community, as well as those that might be looking to do a refinancing or purchase and needs a pre-approval and or just wants to get a new loan on a new house. One of the first things that you need to do is look at your physical IDs. Now, this is a requirement and it goes back to the rules and regulations that the banking folks have on a federal basis as well as a state basis. And one of the big things that it's in a number of regulation and rules that are out there to protect the consumer and to protect the bank and to protect any lenders or anyone involved in the process is to be the key is to know your customer. And the old days, you would see them if you were working in a bank and you'd be in the lobby and you'd see people coming in periodically to deposit their checks for their pay or to make withdrawals or other transactions. And over a period of time, you get to know these people. Maybe it's need a notarization or basically it could be they're coming in to go into the safe deposit box. All those things typically happen in a local community for local business and you know people face to face. And part of that, the key to all that is you get to know your customer. So it's a case that certain transactions would be suspicious if someone walked in and had this big wad of cash. Or all of a sudden wanted to withdraw their money in 5 and 10s and maybe 20s and had a lot of money in a bank account and wanted to take out this huge amount of money all at once. That's suspicious, and therefore, you know, there's a process and there are rules and regulations and a checklist of how to determine what's valid, what isn't, might be suspicious, and there are reports and other things you do. If you work in any kind of financial institution and people walk in and want to do certain type of transactions, they may be asking you questions or they may be just doing the transaction. And certain transactions would make you go to the person who's the designated person in your organization if you feel there's a level of discomfort, and basically they check off certain boxes effectively as to, you know, large cash deposits or other stranger activity, or they're depositing money in someone else's bank account, you know, things like that. So it all goes back to, if you're looking to do a mortgage, if you're a realtor, you're a potential customer, no matter who you work with, the first thing you want to do is have the information to provide, and especially now that we're using things like, you know, the computer, the internet to communicate, and we're not getting to see people as much in person, we still need to do certain things. And the two basic items, documents, driver's license, which has a picture ID, government issued picture ID, or if you're not driving, in certain cases, folks get it to a certain point where they feel they don't need to or want to, or it's not safe to drive, but they would go to the registry of deeds, or I'm sorry, not registry of deeds, motor vehicle registry, and you would get a card issued by the state, like the state of Florida, which would be a ID, and use it for that purposes. So we're looking for your government issued ID, which usually is a driver's license, but as we said, could be just a ID kind of card with your picture on it. We're also looking for a copy of your Social Security card. Now, there was a time not too long ago when the Social Security Administration was using your Social Security number on various documents. So that if you, like, Medicare card was the same number as on your driver's license, and the driver's license had the number. Now you're typically going to have a separate ID number on your driver's license. Your Social Security card will have your Social Security number, and your Medicare card will have a separately issued number. And that's within approximately the last year or so. That's been the case. Before that, we could take, as an alternative to the Social Security card, we could take the Medicare card because it had the same number, usually with a letter after it. But we could. Now we can't, because the Medicare offices have issued new cards with a different number than your Social Security card. So you want to pull that out. It might be in the wallet for 1,000 years. Hopefully it's readable. If it's not legible, or you go looking for it and say, I haven't needed this for many, many years. When I applied for a job 30, 40 years ago, I used it, but I haven't had to use it lately. To do a financial transaction such as a mortgage, we are looking for that Social Security card. So there's no time better than today to hop over to a local Social Security office, because a lot of times when you call on the phone, not every time, but a lot of times they'll say you've got to go personally to get a new card. Again, we don't want everybody who says they're Tom Jones to call up the Social Security office and give them a Tom Jones's name and little information like their address, and maybe they're not Tom Jones. We don't want them to have your ID information. So the Social Security office usually wants you to go in person. So my suggestion is, once you identify that you don't have that card, or that you can't really read it because it's just too old, it's been in the wallet too long, or stuck in a drawer someplace in your house, go and get a new card. You can, as long as you have your other IDs, be able to obtain that card. And now you got a nice, new, neat, clean Social Security card. Driver's license, Social Security card, the first two items we or any other lender will ask for. Again, because the whole thing goes back to know your customer and know who you are dealing with, for everyone's protection. So rather than wait and in the last minute say, I don't have the card, but I need an approval for a mortgage, and want to get things going, get a hold of the card if it's not in the condition that we can read it. Would be my suggestion. Do it now, because you never know when you're going to need it, for a mortgage or for any other kind of transaction where you may need that second ID. So my suggestion is, check it out today. Make sure you have a legible driver's license, legible Social Security card, and then when you talk to us or talk to your realtor, you'll be able to provide that information and we can start the process. So that's my hint for today. And other than that, wish everyone a good rest of the week and coming up weekend. And whenever I can be of service, my number that you can reach me at, and I just was trying to get a hold of the number in front of me here. That number is bear with me a second. I'm going to go get that number. Hold on. It's amazing how when you go look for numbers, it was right there in my pocket the whole time. But that's the key. You know, you think you know where things are, and unless you go look. So again, go look for your number. If you have any questions, my number that you can reach me anytime is 352-561-3096. You think I know that by heart, but I just want to make sure if I'm recording this that I'm giving you the right number. 352-561-3096, Bob Gersh, East Coast Capital. So today's information, helpful hint is, we need to know you like you know yourself, and the best way to do that is to have your IDs legible, because we have to pass the information on to our processors, our underwriters, our closers, and you know, they need the information. Plus, when you go to a closing, purchasing a piece of property, or doing a mortgage, the title company, first thing you're going to ask for is copy of that driver's license and potentially the social security card, to be able to verify your information and verify that you are you. So that's it for today. And again, be well, and we'll see you around the closing table. And have a good day.